It started with a stumble in the garden, just one missed step on a sunny afternoon. But for Mr. Harris, 76, that stumble turned into fear. Fear of walking, fear of falling again. Are your legs trying to tell you something? Let's hear the quiet signals before they turn into something louder. It was a Sunday morning, just like any other. Dolores, 74, sat by the window in her living room, dressed and ready for church. Her wide-brimmed hat rested neatly on her lap, but this time, she wasn't putting it on. Her legs felt too weak. Like jelly, she whispered to herself. The short walk down the street suddenly felt like a mountain. Just a few months ago, she was the picture of quiet strength, tending her garden, kneeling to plant tulips, standing proud beside her rose bushes. But lately, she'd been losing her footing, needing more help to get out of chairs, and waking at night with painful leg cramps. Her daughter Marissa grew concerned. "Mom, you haven't been out in days," she said gently. "Even your tomatoes miss you." Dolores tried to smile, but her eyes betrayed her fear. "I don't know what's wrong. My legs just don't feel like they used to." A doctor's visit finally gave them an answer. Her vitamin D levels were dangerously low. As we age, our bodies lose some of their ability to produce vitamin D from sunlight. Add in more time indoors and less outdoor activity, and it becomes a quiet but serious problem. Studies show that seniors with low vitamin D are at significantly higher risk of muscle weakness, falls, and even bone fractures. In fact, one study found that getting just 10 minutes of sunlight a day can reduce the risk of age-related muscle loss by 20%. The news startled Dolores. "I thought it was just part of getting older," she murmured. But the truth was, it wasn't aging. It was something she could do something about. Marissa nodded, holding her hand. "Let's take it one step at a time, Mom. 10 minutes in the garden, that's all. Maybe a supplement too. We'll ask the doctor." It was a quiet awakening, not dramatic, not loud, but real. The next morning, Dolores slipped on her sun hat and stepped into the backyard. The sun touched her face, and she breathed in the scent of soil and fresh air. Her knees still wobbled, but she was moving again. Sometimes strength doesn't roar. Sometimes it's a woman standing in her garden, reclaiming her steps one ray of sunshine at a time. Have you noticed a loved one pulling away from the outdoors, losing confidence in their steps? It might not just be age, it might be a signal. Here's what you can do. Encourage gentle sunlight exposure. 10 to 15 minutes a day can make a difference. Ask a doctor about vitamin D testing, especially if they spend most of their time indoors. Don't wait for a fall to find out what's missing. If you've seen changes like this in someone you love, share their story below. Have they stopped doing something they once loved, like gardening, walking, or dancing? You're not alone. And if this story reminded you of someone, send it to them. It might just help them take that first step back into the sun. It started with a fall, not a dramatic one, just a simple trip on the kitchen rug. Walter, 78, had gone to refill his coffee. One moment he was humming an old Johnny Cash tune, and the next he was on the floor. It wasn't even that hard a fall, he later told his friend George, but my hip hasn't felt right since. Turns out the fall had caused a small fracture. The x-rays also revealed something else. Walter's bones were thinning, osteopenia they called it, a warning sign that his body was losing more calcium than it could afford. "Back in my day," Walter chuckled grimly, "we drank milk straight from the farm. Never thought I'd have brittle bones now." But this wasn't just about age. As we get older, our bodies absorb less calcium, especially if we don't get enough vitamin D to help. After 50, bone density can decline by 1 to 2% each year. And for many older adults, those small losses go unnoticed, until the first fall. Walter remembered how strong he used to feel. He worked construction most of his life. "Carried beams on my back like they were feather," he'd say with pride. But lately he noticed changes. Slower steps, weaker grip, even back pain after doing yard work. He brushed it off. "Guess I'm just getting old." But the truth? He was running low on the one thing that had supported him all his life: his bones. His daughter Ellie wasn't having it. "We're getting you some calcium-rich foods, Dad." And no, Tums doesn't count as a diet plan. They made changes: more dairy, leafy greens, even fortified almond milk. Walter grumbled, but drank it. The doctor prescribed a supplement tailored for men his age, and Walter began doing gentle weight-bearing exercises with a local senior group. Strength doesn't always come from muscles. Sometimes it's in the bones. Quiet, hidden, but vital. Today, Walter still takes his walks, slowly, more carefully, but he feels steadier. His confidence is returning. Have you noticed a loved one getting shorter? Complaining of back pain? Walking more cautiously? These could be silent signs of calcium loss. Here's what you can do. Include calcium-rich foods in daily meals. Dairy, dark greens, fortified cereals. Ask the doctor about bone density tests, especially if there's been a fall. Combine calcium intake with vitamin D for better absorption. Encourage gentle movement, walking, tai chi, or light resistance exercises. Ever heard a parent or grandparent say, "I guess I'm just old"? Sometimes that's not the whole story. Leave a comment with what you've noticed in someone you care about. And if this story hits close to home, send it to a friend. You might help someone prevent the next fall before it happens. It always hit around 2 a.m. Like clockwork, Sharon's sleep would shatter, her calf locking up in a painful spasm. She'd jolt awake, gasping, clutching her leg. "It felt like lightning," she said, "like someone took a wrench and twisted the muscle tight." At first, she thought it was just part of getting older. "I'm 69, she'd tell herself. "A few aches and pains come with the territory." But these cramps weren't normal. They were deep, sharp, and always at night. Her days were getting harder too. She started avoiding walks with her church group, unsure if her legs would cooperate. Her knitting group noticed. "You okay, Sharon?" someone asked. She smiled, nodded, but inside she was tired. Not just from the cramps, but from losing pieces of her independence. It wasn't until her checkup that something finally clicked. "You're low on magnesium," the doctor said after reviewing her labs. "It's more common than people think, especially in folks over 60. Medications, diet, even just aging can throw things off." Sharon blinked. "Magnesium? That simple?" Turns out, magnesium plays a quiet but powerful role in the body, helping muscles contract and relax, calming the nerves, and keeping the heart rhythm steady. And studies show that nearly 50% of older adults in the US don't get enough through their diet. That night, Sharon opened up to her neighbor Margaret over the fence. "You ever get those leg cramps?" Sharon asked. Margaret nodded. "Used to, yes. Started eating a handful of almonds before bed. Swear by it. Also soaked my feet in Epsom salt. That helped too." Sharon chuckled. "I'll try anything." She did. Almonds and bananas became her go-to evening snack. She switched from white bread to whole grain, added more leafy greens. And every other night, she let her feet rest in warm Epsom salt water as she listened to her old 70s records. Within a few weeks, the cramps eased. She began sleeping through the night again. And when the church group met for their Saturday stroll, Sharon was right there, steady, smiling. Sometimes what wakes you up in the middle of the night isn't just pain. It's your body trying to tell you something. Have you or someone you love struggled with night cramps or twitching legs? Don't just chalk it up to age. It might be something as simple and fixable as a missing mineral. Here's what you can try. Snack on magnesium-rich foods: almonds, pumpkin seeds, bananas, spinach. Take a warm Epsom salt bath before bed. Ask your doctor if a supplement is right for you. Have you ever had to stop an activity you loved because of leg pain or cramps? Share your story in the comments. Someone out there needs to hear it. And if you found this helpful, send it to a friend or family member who's been quietly struggling. You could be the one to help them sleep peacefully tonight. Bob had always been a man on the go. A retired truck driver, he spent decades behind the wheel, traveling across the country. But these days, things weren't as smooth as they once were. It started with a strange sensation, like ants crawling up his legs. He called it pins and needles, but it didn't go away like it usually did. The tingling turned to numbness, creeping up from his feet to his knees. One night, as he sat in his favorite chair trying to read the newspaper, he noticed his balance was off. He reached for the armrest to steady himself. "I can't feel my toes like I used to," Bob muttered to himself, his voice laced with confusion and frustration. His wife, Carol, noticed too. "Bob, you okay? You're walking a little funny lately." Bob shrugged it off, but deep down, he knew something wasn't right. The next week, at his routine checkup, the doctor seemed concerned after hearing about the tingling and numbness. "Bob, this isn't just normal aging. It's your nerves calling for help. You're low on vitamin B12. Bob blinked. "B12? What's that got to do with my legs?" The doctor explained, "Vitamin B12 plays a critical role in keeping your nerves healthy. But as we age, our bodies become less efficient at absorbing it, especially if you're taking medications like acid blockers or metformin, which can interfere with B12 absorption." Bob wasn't alone. Studies show that over 40% of older adults are B12 deficient, and it's often overlooked until symptoms like tingling, numbness, or even poor balance begin to show up. "I'm not just getting old, am I?" Bob asked, a little more anxious now. "No, Bob. This is something we can fix," the doctor reassured him. "With the right diet or B12 supplements, we can help restore what's been missing." Bob left the doctor's office feeling a mix of relief and determination. He started adding more B12-rich foods to his diet: eggs, meat, and fortified cereals. But the real change came when he followed the doctor's advice to get a B12 shot to boost his levels quickly. Within a few weeks, the tingling began to fade. His legs felt more solid under him, and he noticed his balance improving. No more grabbing the armrest just to stand up. He even started taking longer walks around the block with Carol, feeling steadier on his feet. It was the simple things that Bob had taken for granted, things he hadn't even realized he was missing. Walking without fear of stumbling, enjoying his mornings without that nagging sensation in his legs, and regaining his confidence. If you've noticed that your balance isn't what it used to be, or your legs feel off, it's worth checking your B12 levels. Vitamin B12 is key to healthy nerves and memory, and it's something you can improve with a few changes. Here's what you can try. Eat more B12-rich foods like eggs, meat, and fortified cereals. Talk to your doctor about B12 supplements or shots if you're deficient. Stay active. Walking just 10 minutes a day can keep your muscles and nerves in better shape. Do you or someone you love struggle with tingling or unsteady legs? Share this video with them. It might just be the help they need. And if you found this helpful, send it to someone who's been dealing with the same thing. You could be the one to make a difference. Rosa, a woman who had always been full of life, was starting to feel the weight of age. Every time she stood up, a wave of dizziness would wash over her, making it hard to get her bearings. Her muscles felt heavy, as if they were no longer responding the way they used to. It wasn't her blood pressure. She had checked it just that morning, but something was definitely off. Her steps were unsure, and she felt like she had lost the spring in her legs. "I can't seem to get my balance back," Rosa said to her daughter, her voice tinged with frustration. "My legs feel like they're dragging behind me." Her daughter, concerned, suggested they visit the doctor. After a series of tests, the answer came: low potassium. "That's what's causing your dizziness and muscle weakness," the doctor explained. "Potassium helps balance the fluids in your body and supports muscle contraction. As we get older, we don't absorb it as well, and diuretics, medications that help lower blood pressure, can also make the problem worse." Rosa couldn't believe it. She had always eaten a healthy diet, but she hadn't realized how important potassium was for her muscles. Studies show that potassium plays a critical role in preventing muscle cramps and fatigue, especially as we age. Low potassium can also lead to weakness in the legs and an increased risk of dizziness or falls. Her grandson, always quick to offer a solution, handed her a banana. "Let's start here, Grandma," he said with a smile. It was a small step, but it was the beginning of a change. Rosa began to make a few adjustments in her diet. She added more potassium-rich foods like bananas, spinach, and avocados to her meals. And while it wasn't an overnight fix, she began to notice improvements. Slowly but surely, the heaviness in her legs started to lift, and her dizziness became less frequent. "What a difference a banana makes," Rosa laughed one afternoon as she made her way into the kitchen, feeling steadier than she had in weeks. Her family noticed too. They'd always admired how active Rosa had been, and it was a relief to see her regain some of that energy. Even her walks were more confident now, though she still made sure to take things slow. The doctor had also suggested keeping an eye on her potassium levels with regular blood tests. Rosa appreciated the advice and took it seriously. Keeping her potassium levels in check became a priority, as she learned that too little can lead to muscle weakness. But maintaining balance was key to feeling her best. If you're feeling tired or weak, or if you notice your muscles cramping more than usual, it might be worth checking your potassium levels. Foods like bananas, spinach, and avocados are great starting points to boost your intake. What's your go-to food when you're feeling worn out? Let us know in the comments below. And if you know someone who's been feeling off lately, don't forget to share this video. You might just help them find the answer they've been searching for. Ted had always been a proud, active man. At 74, he still loved taking walks, though his pace had slowed over the years. Lately, though, something was different. Every time he tried to walk further than a few blocks, his knees creaked, almost like an old rocking chair on a porch. The pain wasn't arthritis like he'd initially thought. It was something else, something deeper. Ted had grown frustrated. His usual strolls around the neighborhood, once a joy, now left him wincing with every step. "It's like my knees just won't cooperate anymore," he told his wife one evening, massaging his aching joints. Concerned, his wife insisted he visit the doctor. After a thorough checkup, the diagnosis was unexpected. Ted's vitamin K levels were dangerously low. "It's affecting your circulation and bone health," the doctor explained. "Vitamin K plays a crucial role in blood clotting and ensuring that calcium stays in your bones where it's needed. Without it, your joints can suffer and circulation can slow down, especially in the legs." Ted sat back in his chair, processing the information. He'd heard of vitamin K, of course, but never knew just how vital it was for his joints and circulation. Studies show that vitamin K helps improve circulation and supports bone health, particularly in the legs and joints. Without it, people can experience pain in their knees, ankles, and other joints, making everyday tasks feel like a struggle. "Maybe I need to move more," Ted chuckled, trying to lighten the mood. "It's just the old body, I guess." His wife smiled warmly and slid a bowl of steaming kale soup across the table. "Maybe you need to eat more greens too," she said. "Kale, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, they're packed with vitamin K." Ted laughed. "I'll give it a try." Over the next few weeks, Ted added more vitamin K-rich foods into his diet. He didn't just rely on the kale soup. He started incorporating more leafy greens like broccoli and Brussels sprouts into every meal. And while it wasn't an instant cure, Ted soon began to feel a difference. His knees weren't as stiff, and he could walk a little further without the pain. He was even able to join his wife on a short walk around the block, something he hadn't been able to do in a while. "I feel a little better," Ted remarked one afternoon as they sat together on the porch. "Not as much creaking, that's for sure." His wife smiled and gave his hand a gentle squeeze. "It's those greens, Ted. They really do wonders." The doctor had also advised that Ted be mindful of his interactions with any blood thinners he was taking, as vitamin K can affect those medications. But Ted was grateful for the advice, as it helped him focus on what he could control, his diet and his daily habits. If you've been struggling with leg pain, swelling, or bruising, it might be time to check your vitamin K levels. Eating more greens can go a long way in supporting your joints and circulation. What's one green veggie you actually enjoy? Comment below. It might surprise someone who's looking for ideas. And if you know someone dealing with joint pain, share this video with them. You could help them find relief, just like Ted. Judy, a retired teacher, had always been known for her energy. For 30 years, she taught third grade with a smile and a quick step, never missing a beat. But now things were different. Her legs felt heavy, as though she was walking through mud, and the once vibrant woman found herself tired all the time. "I don't know what's happened," Judy said one afternoon, sitting on the couch with a cup of tea in her hands. "I used to walk all over the school, upstairs, downstairs, chasing after my students. Now I can barely make it to the mailbox without feeling like I've run a marathon." Her daughter, concerned, suggested a visit to the doctor. After a few tests, the diagnosis came back. Judy was deficient in vitamin B6. The doctor explained that vitamin B6 helps with nerve function, blood flow, and energy metabolism. And as we age, our bodies can become less efficient at absorbing it, especially if our diets don't include enough of it. B6 deficiency can lead to fatigue, poor circulation, and even mood changes, the doctor explained. It's affecting your energy levels, Judy. That's why your legs feel so heavy. Judy sat quietly for a moment, the weight of the diagnosis settling in. She had never thought about vitamins as being the source of her fatigue. I guess I didn't realize how important it is, she said softly. I've been so tired lately. I even snap at people sometimes. That's not me. Her daughter nodded gently. We'll fix this, Mom. We'll start with food. She handed Judy a plate of grilled chicken and a side of chickpeas, both rich in vitamin B6. You can also try tuna and beans. They're great for boosting your energy. Judy's eyes brightened as she took a bite. Well, I can definitely eat this, she smiled, feeling the first glimmer of hope in weeks. I might even get up tomorrow and go for a walk in the garden. We'll see if it helps. Vitamin B6 isn't just about fighting fatigue, though. It also supports healthy blood flow and helps nerves function properly. Studies show that getting enough vitamin B6 can improve energy metabolism and help with mood regulation. Judy was ready to give it a try, knowing that even small changes could make a big difference. As the weeks passed, Judy began to feel a change. Her legs didn't feel as heavy, and she found herself walking to the mailbox with a little more ease. Her mood improved, and she started spending more time in the garden, enjoying the fresh air she had been missing. She even caught herself humming a tune now and then, something she hadn't done in months. I can't believe the difference, Judy said one afternoon, sitting on the porch with her daughter. I've got my spark back. If you've been feeling tired or noticing poor circulation, it could be time to check your vitamin B6 levels. Adding more chicken, tuna, and chickpeas to your diet can help boost your energy. And if you take a multivitamin, ask your doctor if it covers B6, because sometimes a simple change can make all the difference. Do you remember someone in your family who seemed to lose their spark? Honor them in the comments below. And if you know someone feeling fatigued, share this video with them. It might help them find the energy they've been missing. As we grow older, our legs carry us through so much. The first steps we took as children, the dances at weddings, the walks with loved ones, and the quiet moments spent outside with family. But sometimes, as the years go by, our legs begin to speak in whispers, warning signs we might not always hear. Have you noticed your loved one taking longer to stand up? Or perhaps feeling more tired than usual after a simple walk? These small changes can be signs of something bigger, a deficiency, an imbalance, or a simple aging process that's harder to ignore with each passing year. But it's never too late to listen, to act, and to make a change. Studies show that walking just 10 minutes a day can reduce muscle loss by 20% as we age. So when you notice the first signs of trouble, whether it's weak legs, cramps, or even fatigue, don't wait for it to get worse. Take action now. A quick chat with your doctor, adjusting your diet, or even adding a small walk into your routine could make all the difference. The truth is, you're not alone. We all go through it, and many of us are quietly struggling with these issues. But remember, your legs have carried you through a lifetime of experiences. They've helped you raise your children, travel to new places, and enjoy countless moments. They deserve your care and attention now more than ever. So if you've noticed any of these signs in your own life, or that of a loved one, don't brush them off as just getting older. Take a moment to talk to your doctor. Make the changes you can and take small steps every day to improve your health. There's no reason you can't keep moving forward with strength and energy. What signs have you noticed in your own journey or in someone you love? Maybe it's the small things, more rest, more care. Share your story in the comments below. We want to hear from you and we'll read every single one. You're not alone in this. If you want to stay informed about simple, heartfelt health tips that make a real difference as you age, follow our channel and click the bell so you never miss a new story that might just change your life. And don't forget, if this video helped you, share it with someone who might need to hear it too. Together, we can help each other walk healthier, longer, and stronger.